Hey girlies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jennifer and this is a Ready to Wear affair where I discuss all things fashion, mostly luxury and designer fashion, but of course, as someone who has a passion for fashion, I discuss affordable, fast fashion, contemporary fashion, all fashion, because that is my true passion. So if that sounds like your vibe, please subscribe and go ahead and like this video because I have a really good video in store for you. This video is going to be covering the top 10 fall trends that I'll be participating in this fall. So stick around, relax, get comfortable, and sit tight. It's going to be a good one. So let's get right into it. So the very first trend, I think this is my favorite trend of all the trends. The trend of all the trends that I have been obsessing over ever since I saw it across my timeline. Honestly, during the Cowboy Carter concert, when everyone was kind of dressing up, Beyonce had all the looks. I really hope Beyonce comes out with a fashion lookbook, like a Tashin or a Salon published fashion editorial book with high quality images of all the different looks she walked throughout her entire concert tour. So Beyonce, I will get it. Put it out, please. And this trend is the multi-belt trend. The multi-belt trend, where people are wearing more than one belt and they're layering it. And this trend looks really good when you have different lengths, sizes, sometimes textures or color, different buckle color, design, small, big. I love the way the girlies have been rocking this trend. It literally is hands down my favorite trend this fall. It's also genius. Did Beyonce's stylist come up with this or did someone else come up with it? The lines are blurred. Anyway, I'm jealous because I feel like this is something I should have come up with. I look at this, I'm like, why didn't I do this years ago? Why didn't I think of doing this? It's so easy. I have so many belts in my closet. I have at least 20 plus belts. Could have easily just done this on my own years ago, and I could have been a trendsetter. And sure enough, as I was trying to plan the next fall styling video I have coming up for you girlies, I had no problems styling this multi-belt trend. It's so easy. I didn't realize how useful having so many belts would come in the future. But I'm so happy I do because I was able to style multiple looks, 4 or 5 looks with all different belts. It's just fabulous. And every single of those looks look amazing. So stay tuned for that video. You're gonna love the way I styled this specific trend. I think I'll do a trend spotlight and just focus on styling one particular trend. I think that's how I'll do it going forward. Focus each video on one particular style or trend and do different iterations styling that trend. So stay tuned for that. It's definitely gonna be multi-belt trend. I already kind of styled the pieces that I'll be featuring, so looking forward. All right, so that's trend number 1. And then, not yet, I'm not done because it's gonna bleed into trend number 2. So the multi-belt trend looks the best when you're styling it with a blazer, and in particular, a blazer that is oversized with some exaggerated shoulder pads, that's really structured, really doing the most when it comes to heavy shoulder pads that extend far beyond your actual shoulder length. The bigger the shoulder pad, the more dramatic and the more chic the multi-belt trend looks. So it's really gonna snatch that waist. The thickness of the multi-belt layered look will really accentuate the smallness of the waist, and the exaggerated shoulder pads will just add to that, right? And so I think that aesthetic works beautifully, again, with oversized blazers, very structured blazers. And I would say, given that we're into very structured tailoring, suiting blazers, trend number 3 coming up, we're kind of doing away with the slouchy, baggy boyfriend blazers. But the way you can kind of revitalize a boyfriend blazer that has maybe a shoulder length that extends, because some of the slouchy boyfriend blazers of the past and prior seasons that were trending have extended shoulders that droop over and hang past your shoulder length or width, and kind of stop here, and you can see where the seam ends for the shoulder, and then this seam attaching the sleeve begins. And so you'll have it kind of stop here, that bold seam between the two pieces, the shoulder and the sleeve. You can actually add shoulder pads, and you can buy generic shoulder pads from an Amazon or your local fabric store, and have your local tailor or seamstress add it to the the shoulder area, and it'll elevate that seam, that line, that shoulder line, so that you could have a exaggerated shoulder if that makes sense. But that can be pricey because tailors and seamstresses tend to be very pricey. They're not cheap these days. So between the price of a tailor and getting it altered that way to get your boyfriend slouchy blazers to get a fresh take and be on trend by having exaggerated shoulder pads to lift up the shoulder, it might be the same as buying an actual trendy shoulder padded, heavily shoulder padded blazer. So, you know, pick your poison, I would say. And then bleeding into trend number 2 is power suiting. So I kind of covered that with specifically the kind of oversized, exaggerated shoulder pad blazers. But I think overall power suiting is in this season. I don't think power suits ever really go out of style. They're great for work, especially if you work in the creative space. Sometimes the power suits can be a little too intimidating and too much for like a very conservative work setting. But I think that the power suit overall, generally, you can't go wrong with it. It's great for dressing up, dressing down. It's great when you're doing it in a monochromatic take. I really love a matching suit and then wearing kind of like other pieces to accessorize that are in the same color scheme but different tones, right? And so yeah, that's number 3 really quickly. And I'm a suit girl. I love blazers. I love a good suit. I love just suiting in general. I'm such a suit girl. Tailored suits, tailored cuts, nipped waists, shoulder pads, exaggerated shoulder pads, that hourglass shape. I'm obsessed. I've done a few blazer collection videos. I need to do an updated one because I've acquired a few blazers since the last blazer collection video I did. So stay tuned for that. Sometime in the near future, I will do another refresh of my blazer collection. So stay tuned for that video. But yeah, power suiting would be trend number 3. You can't go wrong, and they're honestly timeless. Trend number 4 would be, I would say, the monochromatic look. I know I kind of covered it just now with the blazer and the power suit, but a monochromatic look never goes out of style. And I mean intentionally wearing the same, like one color, picking one color and picking different shades of it. It's instantly, effortlessly fashionable. Like for example, find a gray, do like a charcoal gray, do like an Earl gray, a light gray, you know, kind of a chalky gray, you know, just you can really have fun with a color scheme, picking a color scheme and playing with different shades within that color. I think that never ever fails, and it's really, really easy to do and foolproof. Trend number 5, I would say, is the color brown, kind of moving into, like, again, trend number 4, trend number 5 is brown, and even better doing brown in a monochromatic color, shades of brown. And brown pairs very nicely with taupe and beige. I think sometimes beige colors can come off as brown, and that's why I really like brown. Like, I'm talking the brown of this dress. I wore this dress because brown is also the color of the season. I think that brown is a great way to go monochromatic if you wanted to do that trend, because browns and beiges and creams are actually very close. And so I think you can do like a nice brown dress like I have here, and then wear like a light brown, almost khaki pair of shoes or blazer, you know, or belt. There's many ways to just style and rock brown. You can do it on its own, or you can do it in a monochromatic way that I just kind of discussed earlier. So that's number 5. Number 6 would be, I would say, bodysuits, but not just bodysuits. I'm talking bodysuits that you can wear as outerwear, that you can kind of wear on their own, that aren't meant for layering. Oftentimes I think bodysuits of being great layering pieces, and they definitely are and should still be this season. I think that they're a closet staple and aren't necessarily trends, but I'm not talking about those kind of bodysuits. I'm talking about bodysuits that can be worn on their own. So think bodysuit jackets, think bodysuit knitwear, like sweater bodysuits that can be worn on their own and styled with some thigh-high boots, right? And if you want to make sure you're comfortable and if it's not a fully covered bodysuit, you can obviously wear some tights underneath, some leggings, just to make yourself safe. But there are some bodysuits that are more hot pants or go a little much longer than just your typical bodysuit underwear shape and give you like a mini short shape where you can just kind of get away with wearing some really thigh-high boots and like you're good to go, like you're all set. And I really would love a nice thick chunky wool bodysuit, something with a hood, and that's like hot, like pop pants shorts, and I can wear some really nice thigh-high boots. There's this really cool suede Westerncore jacket bodysuit that Coperni made, and I've been obsessing over it. It's a lot of money, and I really haven't seen it for a great price or affordable price yet. And I really want it, but it's like so fabulous. It's suede, it has fringe, it's cowboy Carter Westerncore coated, and I'm obsessed with it. It's this beautiful brown color. And it's just all the vibes. I love it so much. And I would love to have that with like a pair of boots, thigh-high boots. Ugh. Bodysuit as outerwear. That is trend number 6. Am I up to 6? I hope I'm up to 6. Number 7, I would definitely say is, speaking of Westerncore, is Westerncore, right? So think hats, cowboy hats. You know, this is the fall season. Fall season is all about like accessories, hats, scarves, gloves. Think denim on denim looks. Think, you know, I have leather, cow print. I have some cow print shorts that I got for the Cowboy Carter concert that I went to in May, and it was the best concert of my life. Leather boots, cowboy boots. Really loved seeing like chaps. Chaps were a whole vibe. Now, I don't think the chaps would bode. It's hard to do chaps without it being Western, but I could really see it being a really cool like piece to wear in the fall. I found it very hard to find some good leather chaps that were reasonably priced. They're very few and far in between, but if you find any, let me know. Let me know. So yeah, cowboy Westerncore is definitely spilling into the fall, and there's a way to do it that doesn't necessarily look like way too costumey. I think the pieces that I styled for the Cowboy Carter concert, and I'll link the video up here, were very wearable, and a lot of the pieces you can actually mix and match and wear in the fall on their own. So cowboy core for the fall season is definitely in trend. Trend number, I think I'm up to 9, is the denim trend. So coming off of, you know, also pieces you can style. Denim is a big piece or big part of the cowboy core aesthetic and style. Denim is also on its own timeless. You can do denim that has nothing to do with cowboy core or the Western kind of fashion. You can do it on its own. You can do a Canadian tuxedo. I would like to highlight specifically denim maxi skirts. I have become obsessed with them. They are my obsession. I love that they are so extra, but not too extra, because they're denim. You know how denim can be done in literally any which way, but because it's denim, it doesn't look like you're doing too much. That's what I love about denim. It's like, I wore this gorgeous maxi skirt. I've worn a few of them on my channel. The most recent one I got was from Monochrome. And both of them, both the Monochrome one and the Maison Martin Margiela one, are just absolutely like fabulous. I'm obsessed with them. I'll put a picture up of the jeans. I wear them all the time, so I might not. But I'll put a picture up for anyone who hasn't seen them yet. They're absolute masterpieces. And then also think, like I said, Ralph Lauren, think Van Moon. Van Moon does a really great job of cool twists and shapes and cuts of denim. I love how Van Moon does denim. And I'm specifically highlighting brands that do unique denim that are maxi length and skirts. So yeah, the maxi denim trend to me is extremely appropriate in the fall. The length, the amount of fabric, denim is very thick, it's pretty warm. It's a very great idea for you to rock a denim maxi skirt this fall. The next trend I want to cover are boots. Boots. Think thigh-high boots. I mean, boots are always on trend every single winter and fall, but I'm talking thigh-high boots. And again, they've been on trend before, but think boots that have some really cool elements to it that aren't just a straight up leather thigh-high boot. Think boots with buckles, think boots with like animal print, think boots with some really cool design. So again, boots that are statement pieces that have some really cool aesthetic and element to it. I really love my Bottega Veneta Croc and Boss boot. I think that would look really, really good with a bodysuit look. And I've also worn it with a trench bodysuit, and I forgot to mention that earlier, but I own a trench bodysuit, and I just think it looks absolutely amazing, the two together. I haven't worn them yet for you guys, but I've worn them with my other thigh-high boots, and they look absolutely fabulous together. And yeah, different colors, lengths, I just like elements of like really cool design. I love thigh-high boots. They never get old. And so you can't go wrong with some thigh-high boots this fall, but especially focus on ones that have some really cool elements to them. Again, texture, buckles, embellishments, those kind of really cool elements that make it stand out. And then spilling into that, the next trend I want to cover that I have my eyes on are the trench trend. So the trench, calling trench or trench coats, trench jackets as a trend sounds wrong because trench is in season every fall. It's literally trending every single fall, the trench jacket, think Burberry. But I think just much like the boots, thigh-high boots, let's think of trench in a different way, trench that has a twist to it. Trench that has other elements of other trending pieces this fall. So other elements of trends this fall, like think romance, right? The lace detailing, the ruffle, think trenches that have that kind of element to it. Not so boring, straight, boring trench coats. I'm talking about trench coats with buckles, cool belts, multi-layered belt look. One thing that comes to mind, or the one trench that came to mind for me as soon as I thought of this, was the Ghani trench coat. The Ghani trench coat comes in a cropped version and a long full-length trench version. It has a really cool hood to it and has this really cool multi-belt detail as well, embellished detail buckling belt situation, and it went viral for good reason. That's the kind of trench we're talking about. So yeah, trench is always in season, it's always trending, but trench with a twist definitely is one to invest in this fall. So that's it. I think I covered all 10. I hope I'm not missing anything. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in on my trend report for this upcoming fall. Stay tuned. I have some really great videos coming down the pipeline that feature some of these trends that I just covered. I love styling videos. I think you girlies love them the most. Y'all don't love my vlogs, so I don't post vlogs as much anymore. But I am definitely still churning and pumping out some great styling videos for you girlies coming up. Don't forget to let me know which of these trends you'll be participating in and which trend is your favorite. I know mine is a multi-belt. I said it before and I'll say it again. I absolutely love that trend, but I want to hear from you girlies about what trends you love the most, which trends you already have, and if this video has inspired you to try them and wear them in a different way. All right. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay respectful, and I will see you girlies in the next video. Bye.